Ablahi, the nationalities of those who surrendered to the Nigerian forces, that I don't know, we don't have. This is something that just happened. We will, in due course, communicate that to you once we get the details from our counterparts from Niger Republic. Joel, how long to plan the operation into Sambisa? I told us earlier on that Operation Rescue Final is a follow-up to Operation Crackdown, which of course was conducted earlier in the year. Again, I've repeatedly informed you that the reason why we had to pull out from Crackdown was because of the weather issues. So now that we have a more favorable time, that's why we went in. Talking about the timing to plan for the operation, well, it took us a considerable time. Why? Because there are a lot of factors which you need to put in place. And of course, lessons we also learned from Crackdown helped us in ensuring that this operation was conducted speedily as possible. Issues that have to do with logistics and other challenges, of course, we're able to address them. And of course, packaging the right platforms that you'll be able to move in that terrain. Again, the experience that we had earlier on during Crackdown helped us to, address all those. So, in a nutshell, I want to believe that, as informed as you are, you should be able to put, one-on-one together to know what went into the planning. Now, setbacks, and yes, you're right, not two controls, but one, and another vehicle. The 27th Brigade, as I speak to you, have been operated. Of course, they went into Niger Republic. We have been in liaison with the Nigerian forces. Operations are still continuing. We believe that those who went in there were part of those who possibly found their way out, and in order to possibly look for means of getting to safe havens, that's why that operation was conducted, because it was not more of standing to fight, as it were. Kayode, well, thank you. It's a suggestion, no doubt. We will do that. But again, I equally indicated some of the equipment that will be required. Yes, we may not have what it will take for other Julius Berger or what other construction companies for them to construct such roads. No. What we are doing in Sambisa is to construct earth roads. Those earth roads, they can serve our purpose, even though not maximally. But then we think that going forward, because we're not going to remain there forever, we also think that other security agencies will need to dominate post Operation Lafiya Dole. So at least let us lay the foundation. That's what we're doing. The equipment we're talking about are bulldozers. We're also talking about graders, which you could use to prepare something that you could call a foundation, a base that will enable other road users to fly. So those are the things we're asking that should be given to us, that can be provided. Blessing, you talked about de-radicalization, safe corridor. Yes, I think I do not need to belabor the point. The place is ready. Just one or two things that, by way of higher level proclamation that needs to be made, that is left, and of course hoping too that more of the Boko Haram terrorists will surrender and give up the fight. Those who are running now, they don't need to run anywhere. They should run to us and give up. Then the DDR program, we eventually end up in reintegration. The DDR cannot be complete without reintegration, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. So within this, what we're doing now is a combination of disarmament and demobilization. Why? Those that have surrendered, we have demobilized them, we have disarmed them. But then you will still have more to come. So until they give up comprehensively, and then we can say, okay, look, this is where you must come out to go and submit your arms and all that. Reintegration cannot start. There must be de-radicalization phase, which will also lead to reintegration. You must be de-radicalized first before you are reintegrated. So the structures to be able to ensure that is ready. And we're hoping that more will surrender so that we don't have a piecemeal kind of process or structure in ensuring that the program achieves its objective. What next after Sambisa? Very good question. We are continuing the operation. I told you last time that where we are now is a transition phase. I also mentioned that we have won the war, but we need to win the peace. So we will remain to ensure that we give credible support to other stakeholders that will help us to comprehensively win the peace. Until normal life returns, this operation, in my view, not Operation Lafiya Dole, I'm talking about the operation, a comprehensive operation that involves all stakeholders to ensure that peace returns to the Northeast and by extension the entire Nigeria. Will continue. Now, Ismaila, efforts to maintain the tempo, given the setbacks. Of course, this operation has lasted this long because the operation is dynamic. The threats are dynamic. Every day, new threats, new consideration, new factors to be brought to bear. Just as we're speaking now, there are issues that we need to contend with. In the highlights, I talked about an accomplice of those we captured. Issues of that nature. That's why I also call on you to begin to get across to the people, to let them know what their roles, what their responsibilities are. You need to educate them. There's need for greater education in our society for people to know that concealing a criminal is not going to do you any good. Rather, that criminal is going to destroy you in due course. But then you must have that understanding, a clear understanding, before you'll be able to do that. And it requires your input and my input to be able to ensure that. Of course, the level of education in the country, we're not talking about those who read and write. Read and write is not just, that's not education. It rather lays the foundation for your education. And I think we need to get that. That you can read and write does not mean you are educated. That you went to school does not mean you are educated. When you don't understand the issues that are involved in national security, then you are not educated. What your civic responsibilities are, you don't even know, then you are not educated. So these are issues which I believe that together we should be able to bring that objective to pass. Advice to ordinary Nigerians regarding, of course, thank you very much, Gwamna. Every Nigerian must understand that, thank God, there is a program or there is a jingle. If you see something, say something. I think that is very key. We need to build on that. We must also know that people cannot just come to sell ideas to us without we interrogating those ideas. The integrity and the truth level of those ideas that are bringing to us must be tested. We must put them to test. And then to also know that the security agencies are your friends. And more importantly, you and I will have a role to play on issues of national security. We must take ownership of our security. We must, as a people, take ownership. It must not be in the hands of those that are outside. Nobody can love you more than you love yourself. For me, my faith teaches me to love your neighbor as yourself. So you must love yourself before you can love your neighbor. So for us as a people, you must love what we do and must be ready to do the needful before you call for support from outside. Perhaps that should answer all our questions. Any more? All right, so let me, on that note, let me, on that note, thank you so very much for being, again, such a very valuable and credible supporters in this war effort. It's been a pleasure having you, and please let us keep up on that part. God bless you.
Okay, all right.
Major General Lafiya Rabode, the theater commander, Operation Lafiya Dole, giving an update on the ongoing military operation in the Northeast Theater of Operation. Well, it's at this point that we round up live coverage of this event, and I'd like to hand you back to our studios for our regular programming.
Well done, sir.